I confess, that was a bit more than I'd bargained for. I tried to warn you.
Those loyalists deserved what they got.
Couldn't agree more. We smelled smoke in the middle of the night. When we looked outside, before my uncle and I could stop her, Anne rushed out, racing. She came face to face with a horde of goblins. Suddenly, an icy voice drifted out from somewhere. They didn't even give her.
Seems an awfully violent response to a child.
My thoughts exactly. It may be grasping at Billywigs. Might be the only way to learn what type of magic harmed her.
Perhaps you're right. The Loyalists are everywhere, but they...
And at Rookwood Castle. They seem to have set up camp here for a specific reason. They have stations for everything.
Whose home was this?
Been abandoned long since I've lived here. Rumour was a Hogwarts professor lived here once, centuries ago. But that's all I ever heard.
Always armed and ready for a fight, Ranrock's Loyalists. Revelio.
I've heard that goblin dig sites like these are popping up everywhere.
It's a wonder the Ministry isn't doing more.
It might be worth taking a closer look at the house itself.
Protego! Sebastian, I've seen this before. The house, the well, the view.
What do you mean? When?
Give me a moment. I'll explain in a second. This well looks familiar. Revelio. Sebastian, over here. Do you think this was damaged by the fire the night that Anne was cursed?
Could be. But it looks to me as though this was intentional.
Sebastian, this house did belong to a Hogwarts professor.
Who? What do you...
I found... The Keepers have shown me other memories as well. The girl became a Hogwarts professor. Her name was Isadora Morganach.
The Keepers? Like in Quidditch? And you found a pensive in the library?
I realize it's a lot to take in. I'm not even sure I understand it all yet. And no, not like Quidditch.
Let me see if I've got this straight. You have Ranrock and Rookwood after you because of something you found at Gringotts where you ended up via a portkey. You can see traces of an ancient magic that you think Ranrock is trying to harness. Oh, and this house belonged to a Hogwarts professor who was one of these non-Quidditch keepers hundreds of years ago. If I didn't know you, I'd think you were...
It is all a bit much, isn't it, when you put it like that? The point is, we both... You for answers about what happened to Anne, and me for answers about the Keepers.
Look at this.
Someone piled this here for a reason. Is it blocking something?
Only one way to find out. Not sure what I did to deserve that. Huh, a stairwell.
Lumos.
Better to sleep on my feet, I could.
Why bother blocking a stairwell?
There might be something here worth a closer look.
They've left all of this simply strewn about. Tells me they're after something bigger.
Seems these journal entries are from Isadora's travels. Revelio. A journal entry of Isadora's. I should hold on to this. Incendio! Lumos. Reparo. Revelio. Confringo.
Not sure what I did.
You're not going to believe this. I can see the Undercroft.
What? A daydream? Because that
Lumos.
happens to me too.
I know it sounds strange,
Honestly,
but fair enough. I can see the Undercroft through this stone wall.
I'm listening.
I think it's to do with my ability to see traces of ancient magic.
But you said you didn't really understand it.
That's true, and I'm still not sure what it all means. What I do know is that my ability allows me to travel through these...
Wait. We can get straight to the Undercroft from...
We can, but perhaps best not to tell anyone else about this.
Understood. Well then, invisible... I'm tempted to hold my breath.
Lumos.
Why would the door lead us here?
Sebastian, look. Why hide a triptych here?
Seems as if something's missing.
A note. Let's have a look.
Anything helpful in the note?
A rune symbol. I've seen similar symbols used by the keepers.
I've been thinking. A keeper lived in that house centuries ago, and Ranrock and his lot have been searching there.
I can't be sure, of course, but I don't think so. I didn't see any traces of it around your sister.
Very well. But that doesn't mean it's not ancient magic.
True. Perhaps this triptych will lead us to answers.
Then, did I mention that, apparently, Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here?
You did not. Sounds worth looking into.
No idea. Ominous just learned of it. I'll let you know what I find out. I had no idea our visit to Cian would unfold into all of this. My head's... I'll be in touch. Till then.
Deke?
Ah, Deke is so happy to see you. Deke noticed this bag in the room the other day. You must need it to help with your schoolwork. Deke has seen one of these before. Deke calls it a knapsack. Perfect for gathering and transporting beasts. Pleasant little breeze.
I have been thinking about something Professor Howin said in Beasts class, that I should study as many beasts as I can, on my own time. She also mentioned that poachers have been active in the area, so perhaps the beasts will be safer with us than out there on their own.
Precisely what Deke was thinking. You see, the room knew exactly what you needed, and luckily, Deke can show you how to best use the knapsack and where. Come along, then. Our first stop will be beyond the castle grounds. We can leave now, or you can come and find Deke when you're ready to go.
I'm ready to learn how to use the knapsack.
Perfect! Deke loves an outing. That was a dark time in Deke's life. Deke found himself in service of the cruelest wizard he ever met. A nasty poacher. Deke hated... He did horrible things to beautiful beasts. Oh. It was during those days that Deke first saw a nab. It'll be nice to see one used for good. We have arrived. Deke enjoys coming here to watch the beasts, especially the potful of puffskeins nearby. It will be nice to keep them safe. All you will need to do is get close, direct the open knapsack toward the puffskein, and in it'll go.
All right.
You got one!
Revelio. Professor Howin will never believe this. I managed to rescue a puffskein.
You can rescue as many as the knapsack will hold. Now, not all beasts will be as simple to rescue as a puffskein. Deke suggests you next find a beast that can fly. A jobberknoll, perhaps.
All right.
Deke knows of some to the west, nesting in a large tree over... Deke will meet you there, whenever you're ready.
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm. Hello, Deke. Shall we continue?
Oh, good. Deke was worried about you, what with all the poachers in the area. Perhaps we should work quickly. The jobberknolls are just here, in this large tree. If it's helpful, Deke has seen Levioso used to slow flying beasts. Easier to get in close and use the knapsack.
Then I shall go and rescue a jobberknoll.
Good luck. Deke will be waiting.
everything's all right now. I rescued a Jobberknoll.
Deke hopes your Jobberknoll finds the knapsack nice and cozy. Poachers want them for their feathers, and are not kind when they gather them.
Are there any other beasts nearby?
Just one that Deke knows of, a herd of moon calves. They live in a clearing of trees up this. Deke will see you there.
Hello, Deke. Is this the clearing you mentioned?
It is. Moon calves gather near the large tree with the spiral. So, unfortunately, unless you have a way to hasten time, you might sometimes have to wait till night.
I shall go and find a moon calf then.
Deke will be waiting for your...
There. I'm not going to hurt you. It was a bit trickier than the others, but I have a moon calf.
Another beast. Shame we didn't see the moon calves dance. Deke supposes you're finished here. He'll be able to rescue many more beasts, but for now,
All right.
Deke will put you back in the room. There you are. Now, we need to show the beast you rescued, then you go home. But not enough food to let them out here. Imagine all those beasts running amok. That wouldn't do at all. Perhaps if you focus on what your beasts need, the room will provide. What exactly did you think of? You've done it!
But what is it?
It isn't sure. Only one way to find out. Meet you inside when you're ready. Look at this. It's amazing.
Where are we, Deke?
It seems to be a place for your beasts to live, a vivarium of some sort. Oh, your beasts will be quite comfortable here. They'll have healthy, safe lives. Perhaps you want to release them. Let's see the new home. Deke thinks that very be a fitting new home for your beasts. Deke hopes so too. If you do know the room,
Any beasts in the room?
yes, she's well known for helping to care for beasts. Speaking of care, beasts that are well fed. If you gather some materials,
Very well. I shall let you know.
Deke thinks you are doing good work here.
I collected some magical
Now, Deke can show you how to use them.
an enchanted loom.
Exactly. It will allow you to use your magical material, making your clothing more useful in a... Why don't you try it? Deke thinks you'll be impressed.
I'll go and experiment with the loom. That came out nicely. I should show Deke. I used the enchanted...
Wonderful.
Will I be able to weave even more?
You will, by rescue. For now, however, Deke suggests you explore the vivarium and...
Thank you for your help, Deke. Looks rather dark in there.
Ruins of Falbaton Castle. After dark. Do not tell anyone.
Here we are. Mr. Weeks wasn't wrong about the mountain views.
If it isn't the fastest Ravenclaw.
Hello, Imelda. So, another trial? Does this mean you've changed your mind about...
Well, Well, they sit around and hope to be the... No one sets records by wishing for them. Are you going to try to beat my flying record?
I'm ready to fly.
Finally.
I'd say that was acceptable. Close, but not close enough. Brilliant! I'm getting the hang of this. Made it! I'd say that was acceptable. That wasn't planned.
Seems my record remains untouched. What do you say? Up for another go? A chance to avenge the honour of your house? That's...
I'm ready to give it another go. Brilliant! Brilliant! Blast! Made it! Close, but not close enough. I'd say that was acceptable. Brilliant! Made it! That wasn't planned.
You've improved, I must admit. Be careful. Earn a reputation.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Yes, well, I am. You'll not have the same luck on the south coast.
We'll see, won't we?
I half expected you to see you at the south coast trial. To race this course again, visit the podium with the leaderboard, where you can start the race and check your time.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Goblins have been running Gringotts since its bricks were laid.
Back from your latest flight? I want to hear all the particulars.
Good news, Mr. Weeks. With your upgrade, I was able...
Brilliant! I knew the upgrade had...
It rides well. Does get a tad shaky at top speed.
Ah, yes.
If it means another up...
You sound as determined as I am to improve. If I'm right, and I do hope... Thank you again, truly.
Historically speaking, there's never been a thing like that. He'll see it was a mistake parting ways with me.
If only I could invent a new potion. When it comes to that.
Nibs in the hat.
Over here, quietly. I am glad that you received my owl. We need to stay low and remain quiet.
Natty, what's going on? Why are we all the way out here?
As promised, I did some investigating to find out what Harlow is up to. I followed him to the Hog's Head. I noticed him reading a letter. All I could see was that it was signed by and bore the seal of Victor Rookwood. And after you told me that Rookwood and Harlow were after you, I decided that you were the perfect person to join me in taking them down. For good. That letter is the tangible proof that Officer Singer needs. It is why I followed Harlow here and why I wrote to you. I need your help to retrieve it.
You seem to be very determined in stopping Rookwood and Hart.
I knew men like him in Uganda. I know how bad things can get if they are not. It's a long story, one I promise to share when we have more time for...
I'll help you find the letter, Natty.
I'm glad to hear it. First, we must access the castle keep. I'll check the main gate, see if you can find another way in. I do not...
Lumos. Revelio. I wonder what that does. Well, that didn't work. Any force.
Accio! Sendo!
That did it.
Levioso! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa! Levioso! Revelio.
Lumos. I need to find a way into the gatehouse to open the gate for Natty. Dead end. Must be another way in.
Here. Wingardium Leviosa.
That looks as if it might raise the gate. Revelio. Confringo! Repulsor! Accio! Repulsor! Confringo! Accio! Accio! Repulsor! Accio! Repulsor!
Well done. I will be right up. I knew you could do it. This way. I will get the door. That is the main keep. My guess is that we'll find Hollow and the letter inside. We'll need to be careful once we get...
I hear them.
Yeah, restrain the beast!
Highwing.
Do you know that hippogriff?
Get this thing back to the roof now!
Very well. New plan. I get the evidence and you free that hippogriff. Agreed? This is our chance. Go!
Blasted! There's got to be another way to get up to the roof. Somewhere. I hope Natty stays out of trouble.
I haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough beast flesh for everyone. It's important though, aren't they? There's been a fight.
Accio! Descendo! Closer! Accio! Closer! Descendo! Accio! Descendo! Repulsor! Accio! Wingardium Leviosa. Revelio. Levioso. Ha! Ha! Not the safest place to sneak into. Alohomora. Revelio. I hope Natty's having an easier time of it. Leviosa.
You're going home in a wooden box!
Protego.
Leviosa!
Alohomora.
Stop right there! All right.
Hi, Wing. It's all right. There we go.
There you are.
Come on.
Hello, amore.
Hurry. There's the Hogwarts Express. Must be returning from an unscheduled run.
I wonder if anyone can see us from the castle. This is amazing!
It's incredible, isn't it? High Wing, go!
How exciting.
Oh, it was exhilarating, wasn't it? Were you able to find the letter?
Summoned it straight out of Hallows. I will say, I did not expect to see him cast the killing.
Of course.
That Rookwood's looking for a phoenix. Not sure where he will find one. Enough to connect Hallow to the crimes. Now, tell me, where did you meet these hippos?
I've only met Highwing before. Poppy introduced us.
Poppy will be relieved to know that Highwing's safe. My mother will be worried. I must go.
When you have a moment, please stop by the room of requirement. Deke tells me he has something to share with you.
I don't find potions bearable at all. And they've been
Revelio.
And your reading is The Dragon. That's exciting, I suppose. Perhaps you're due for an adventure.
Ladies,
Professor Shah.
astronomy is not divination. You won't find the mysteries of the cosmos charted out on your palms or at the bottom of your teacups. Alas, the heavens remain hazy to the starry-eyed. Now, if you were to devote yourselves to persistent and painstaking observation, you just might catch a glimpse. With that in mind, please take your telescopes. Tonight we will be on the observation deck. Still don't have your own? You can't be the new student forever, you know. You can share with Mr. Takar.
Here, I can adjust that for you.
No, bring it into focus on your own. Now, I expect all of you to put in your stargazing hours outside of class. Is that clear?
But, Professor, it's freezing out.
Mere cold didn't stop the great stargazers of the past. Look only to the astronomy tables they erected throughout the highlands from which they gazed millennia ago on the very self-same stars above us. Is that clear? Dismissed.
Oh, hello. Good to see you again. We Ravenclaws.
Oh, hello, Emmett.
Did I hear Professor Shaw say that you don't have your own?
That's very kind of you, Emmett.
I'm certain. I finally got my hands on the new Celestia Contemplar. It's only the pinnacle of all personal stargazing. Goblin-cut glass, first-rate optical enchantments. Hate to think...
Well,
Think nothing of it. Anyway, the telescope's in the storage room, right? I have some, reading to finish on the lower deck.
Tried to put off my stargazing as long as I could. All good that did. How am I supposed to find Sirius?
This was his old telescope. Looks practically brand new. Incendio!
A pristine night for stargazing. Do not let it be wasted.
The perfect night for...
I have the telescope. It's...
I would not offer a prospective stargazer a third...
Yes?
You remember those astronomy tables Shaw was going on about? And it seems there may be one right here at Hogwarts.
And you need someone to...
I do. Are you in? No one from the Gobstones Club will go with me. Said, let us get moving while the stars are still out.
Oh, no need to convince me. Let's get going.
Brilliant. You won't regret it. Shall we? The table is on a castle wall ahead. Look for a stone platform, something that doesn't quite belong. We'll know it when we see it. Onwards we go, then. Lumos! Some say the locations of the
Lumos.
tables were originally marked by centaurs for ritual stargazing. It is nice having a fellow stargazer to explore with.
Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then.
It's not that creepy out here at night, is it? The Gobstones Club are cowards. Here I am, charging ahead. Why don't you lead the way?
If you're sure.
A little foreboding.
A few cobwebs and some dust.
Lumos.
Nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, of course. It's just not as tidy as I expected. More cobwebs. You don't think any spiders might be lurking about?
Oh, no. Not this close to the school, Emmett.
The constellation should appear near the center of your view. As soon as you've lined up the telescope, we will be able to fill out our star chart. I was right about the tables. And your contribution was invaluable.
Thank you, Emmett. I look forward...
And I look forward to writing them. This is only the beginning. You will... And if I have ever seen one, it's...
That's quite generous. Thank you.
You are welcome. It's all in the throat, really, gobbledygook, you know. Anyway, glad...
I assume you have news regarding the goblin you mentioned. Why don't we meet at the map chamber to discuss that and our next steps?
Anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it.
Ominous is right. Meddling.
There's more to dark magic than people. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I'd like to know more about it, if you wouldn't mind telling me.
Very well. But do keep this between us. Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar?
Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus curse, also known as the torture curse, inflicts...
Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on Muggle. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time, as punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still...
How horrible. Poor Ominous, he was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up... I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented flu powder.
Revelio. Revelio.
You would be wise not to underestimate this student. Their aptitude for magic is beyond anything I've ever seen, and I've been teaching a long time.
It is a joy to have such a student.
It can be.
There you are.
I received your owl. I was able to speak with Lodgok, the goblin I mentioned before.
What did you learn?
He and Ranrock were close once, but they had a falling out.
You believe he can be trusted?
I believe he's trustworthy, yes. He seems sincere, and Sirona Ryan trusts him.
Very well. Supposing he can be trusted, will...
I retrieved a stolen helm that he hopes to return to Ranrock in order to...
You have been busy. Let's hope your efforts result in a...
Lodgok did mention that Ranrock is searching for something. Perhaps that helm will yield some answers.
Ranrock is searching for something. I feared as much. I've heard an unusual amount of activity. Goblins and wizards, I surmise. When...
Rookwood Castle?
My former residence, yes. That castle is also the location of your next trial.
I'm sorry to tell you that Victor Rookwood, evidently your descendant, is a dark wizard in league with Ranrock.
Despite the obstacles that clearly await you, you must get to Rookwood Castle immediately. Not only is it the location of the next trial, it is home to a source of power that would be devastating. I do wish we had the luxury of time. However, I do not doubt your abilities.
Very well, sir. I'm on my way.
Best of luck.
No time to waste. I'll meet you at Rookwood Castle.
Deke would like to talk with you when you have a moment.
Hello, Deke. Professor Weasley said you wanted to tell me more about the loom.
Ah, hello. Yes, about that. Deke has had a thought. He... Oh, seems the room thinks you need more space for your beasts. As Deke was saying, he's had a thought. Now, Deke knows how you can test and perhaps help an old friend in the pro...
What do you mean?
Tubbs' master doesn't let him leave the cave, and Deke knows the cave is infested with...
That sounds awful.
It is. Deke hasn't heard from his friend for a while. As the item you wove in the loom has an enchantment that might be useful, Deke...
I understand. Leave it to me, Deke. I'll find Hobbs for you.
Oh, thank you. Please let Deke know what you learn about...
Professor Howin will never believe this.
I pressed Ominous regarding Salazar Slytherin's scriptorium, but my efforts were in vain. Meet me outside the Slytherin common room. We need to talk.
Revelio.